see the clients, we have more than 300 advertisers. We're doing 3 times on revenues since 2019 each year. We're doing 3 times each year on the revenues, and it makes me feel like it's you can't put a price on that feeling. So I guess that's what makes sense to me.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley in partnership with Leumit, sponsored by Homeward Ventures, Hippo Insurance, Upwest Labs, Synergy Global, Hillel at Stanford, Leap, Birthright Excel, Serona Partners, and in media partnership with CTech. Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. We're in influential marketing today. Meet Liav Rafael Chen, the co-founder and CEO of Humanz AI, an AI-powered platform that makes influencer marketing accessible, reliable, and trustworthy for marketers and influencers. He has extensive experience in DevOps, big data, and machine learning, all of which was acquired through his 5-year military experience with the esteemed intelligence unit 8200 of the Israeli Army. It's a pleasure speaking to you in Tel Aviv University right before you're about to give a talk about your journey from AI at 8200, working on some of the most interesting platforms that I got to experience myself also in the unit, but transitioning then to influencer marketing, not just influencer marketing, but building a SaaS platform to enable influencer marketing. So, you're leveraging technology to look at a shift in consumer behavior for the way that we interact with products and how we gain trust for using the products. It's no longer just the same television actors that are supporting the product. It's influencers all around us. So Liav, thank you so much for being here. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How do you get to where you do today?
So I'm originally from Eilat. That's where I grew up. I studied computers as a kid, after school classes and during the high school. I learned how to code and basically got my experience during when I was a teenager. I loved computer, and then I got to the unit 8200, which is the intelligence unit. As you know, I served there as a software developer, and then I went to officer school. Came back. I was commanding chief of one of the courses for the training in the Bahad 15. And obviously after that, I was a software team leader where I met my co-founders today. So we are 5 co-founders that started Humanz right after the army. We're all served together. And we dealt with a lot of data, machine learning, and analyzing behaviors. We took the same expertise that we have. And one day at lunchtime, really at Glilot base, we spoke to one of our friends who was a party organizer, and he told us that he's doing that thing to make some money on the side. It was a side gig. And we asked him, but how can you bring consumers, how can you bring traffic to your parties? And then he told us that he pays a lot of money to beautiful girls on Instagram and has a lot of followers. And they bring the audiences. And I remember I've asked him in the lunchtime, but is it working? How do you know how much to pay? Who do you pay for? How can you track that? Right. And that friend, in the army, in the base, we have a lot of smart people, and he has a master's degrees in mathematics. So he was a very smart guy, my friend. and we all asked him, but how do you know how to pay them and how much? And he didn't really have any answers. So I remember that was my aha moment, where I started to asking the same questions. I asked Google, and I found out there is a landscape called influencer marketing. I found out that he has problems, but also many other brands across the world has problems. And we, as 5 software developers from the army, from 8200, we knew how to deal with big data. So we created algorithms for social media behavior analysis. And then we had the ability to understand users, to segment them into demographics, interests, whether they're real or fake users. And with that technology, we basically changed the influencers landscape. We allowed brands to find the most relevant collaborations for them. And like now we're 4 years after, we have more than 300 advertisers like Unilever, Zara, Kimberly-Clark, Kotex, Terminal X, many other brands in 7 countries. We're around 65 employees in the company, and we have the headquarters here in Tel Aviv. So yeah, so it's growing pretty fast and getting much more traction recently. So I guess the whole landscape evolved.
Liav, take me, higher level. What's happening with influencer marketing, and specifically, where does technology fit into this new notion of finding influencers, micro or macro influencers, and allowing them to work with brands to advertise properly? What is happening here from a technological perspective that is the innovation here?
So the thing everyone must remember is that the number one rule for influencer marketing is trust. You have to trust the influencer that you're following. That was the first change, that it's not a banner that it pops out to your website or during your Instagram scrolling, but it's you're willing to get the content because you trust the person. Now,
organically getting the content.
Organically, exactly. Now, organically, the advertisement is on an Instagram page, a Twitter page, a YouTube page, a Twitch page, and it's not your page as an advertiser or as a brand. It's the creator's page.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that is, innovation in what we do is the measurement abilities. We can measure real exposure. We can measure real traction. We can provide you with a lot of data using our techniques and our pixel that we implement within the actual pages. And we're allowed to say, okay, this creator brought 100 visitors to your website that generated $50,000 in revenues to your business. And the simple sentence that I've just said is something that no one else can say, only humans. And the reason is that we connect and we created the ecosystem. So one way is to have the creators on board to your platform. Then we analyze their social behavior and social influence using a bunch of machine learning algorithms. For example, image analysis for their content posts, NLP analysis for the text they use, and then we understand more information about each user. And finally, we understand if it's a real or a fake user. There are more than 20% fake users only on Instagram. You can buy likes, you can buy fake followers. Yes, so you have to be smart when you approach them. I don't know if you saw the movie, the HBO documentary about Fake and Famous, but they basically took a social media account, Instagram account. They bought followers and comments for that account, and they sold it as an influencer to one of the leading brands in the world. And they showed the problem. Yeah, it's a documentary. It's really fascinating. And what we do is we basically solve this issue using measurements and analytics technology that we developed. So I think that the entire market is going for a more measurable approach. The creators now have their own brands. They're becoming the new advertisers. The social platforms themselves providing tools for the creators to sell content, to sell products and merchandise. And Humanz is right there to make sure to facilitate the entire process between the different platforms, between the different creators. That's why we're here.
Incredible. If you're looking today at the marketplace, so you're serving both the influencers, you're also serving the marketers, the advertisers, and at the end you're serving also the people that are organically getting this exposure. Where is the most challenging piece? Is it the what you're just mentioning, the fake versus famous? Is it more about the way that you're leveraging a consumer friendly process for the influencers? Where does the challenge lie?
The biggest challenge when it comes to the influencer ecosystem and creator, you're right, you have a triangle. On the one side, you have the creator. On the other side, you have the brand. And on the above side, you have the consumer. And from my perspective, the most important piece of that is obviously the consumer, because what connects everyone together is the trust factor. And if you don't have trust within the consumer, you're going to lose the trust within the creator, which obviously is going to lose you the trust with the brands. So once you start and figuring out which are the best, you start the process by having a product, and then you want to find who can send these product messages out in the most performing way. So you have to find the audiences, the consumers that are interested in this product, and then who can influence them. So the most important part and the most challenging part is to understand the audiences online, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, etc. And then to find the influential, and to my recommendation, micro and nano accounts that are the best fit to influence this target audience.
Beautiful. So you're not just the platform for allowing the advertisers to enter influencer marketing and for the influencers to participate. You're also doing targeted analysis for how to most effectively make it happen, right? It's not just let's take this TV persona and hire them because they're generally famous. It's no, let's take this specific one. They may have only 15,000 followers, but boy, these are the exact followers that you as an advertiser want, right?
Exactly. Core technology of Humanz is to identify the audiences, and that's what we were granted by the Israeli Chief Scientist Office for $1 million, only for the machine learning that we developed to identify audiences based on their social behavior. And on top of that, we developed the SaaS platform that allows you to insert a brief and to find influencers and then approach them, manage them, and finally pay them. But the entire ecosystem, the entire workflow is on the platform. And we do believe that the biggest challenge, is to identify the target audience.
Right. Paint me a picture, 2-3 years down the line. Where are we heading with influencer marketing in general, or the advertising space? As the CEO of Humanz, you're in charge of figuring out where is the vision of not just Humanz, but of the marketing world. How do you see it?
My take on that, it's a very good question, and I see, the advertising paradigm changes entirely. Meaning, you see more and more brands that are rely on creators, that are more creators oriented. You can see creators that are doing marketing strategies, they're doing marketing distribution, they create the content, they sell the content. So I see the future goes directly to the creators when it comes to managing the entire marketing, division of brands, and also having their own white label brands branded with their names on it as merchants. And you can see many brands like Pretty Little Thing in America. You can see Adika, the Israeli example, which are rely on the creators, are creators oriented. You can see creators choosing the clothings within the shopping malls, in the fashion shops. They go and they choose the content that you're going to sell right in the shop. So I do believe that they're going to change the landscape. And based on the numbers, what you can see, and these are facts, is that the brands keep on increasing the influencer budgets. If it was 5% 3 years ago from your online marketing budget, you can see now that the average is around 20% from your online advertising budget.
Wow.
So yes, and as much more you have micro and nano creators that joins the community and make more powerful content, you'll see more budgets, and that's where it's going.
Are you more of a marketer, technologist, entrepreneur, leader? Who is Liav today?
That's a good one. I've started as the technical guy. I together with the rest of the founders, I developed the platform. But after a year, I stopped developing. I started to do some calls. I met the clients. I understood the clients. I can say now that I'm more of a people person rather than computers person, and I'll put myself in the, technologic marketer if you want, but somewhere in between.
Liav, going back to this journey of yours, transitioning as an officer, in the IDF, working on some critical missions, and today you have this unique perspective. You're going from something that is deep rooted, national security, and you're transitioning more to brand and marketing, things that a lot of times technologists may look at and scoff or think that it's not the most important thing. I personally disagree, but how do you balance it for yourself? How do you sort of look back on this journey of yours and make sense of it?
Well, I think, it's a deep question. I think it's all about satisfaction and how do you feel when you get up in the morning. I love to, I smile for the following almost 5 years when I get up in the morning since I released from the army. And the reason I'm smiling is that I'm doing something that I enjoy doing and I build something. And I feel like, together with my co-founders, obviously, and the rest of the Humanz company, we're building something great. We see the clients, we have more than 300 advertisers. We're doing 3 times on revenues since 2019 each year. We're doing 3 times each year on the revenues. And it makes me feel like, it's you can't put a price on that feeling. So I guess that's what makes sense to me.
I love it. And if you're looking now at other people, other young entrepreneurs, whether they may be leaving the army or maybe they're leaving a good college where they were studying a specific field, and they're looking for this thing, this passion. They're looking for what they want to do. What can you now, a few years down the line, share with them? How to even gain the confidence to go and pursue something that others around them may think is completely ridiculous.
That's another very good question. Boy, you have very good questions, Michael. I would say you have to focus on the signs that you get from your environment, and to get signs, you have to share. You have to dare. And if you share your thoughts and you share your ideas, and you're not afraid of. I know a lot of entrepreneurs that says, I have an idea, but I won't tell you because you might take it.
Right.
It's not the approach. Every aha moment that I have, I'm sharing with my friends, and that's how I got my co-founders to work together with me, and that's how I got the signs from the environment. So I think the first and foremost advice, because you have a lot of advices, but number 1, share and dare. That's the best advice I can get.
Share and dare. I love it. Liav, I think that the journey that you're on is so awesome. Influencer marketing has been something that has been something that I've been thinking about deeply, because I've been looking at the way that we as consumers around the world are thinking through how we make decisions, and we're all constantly talking about this idea of impulsive buying, and it's been such a problem for me, this idea that brands may be leveraging our cognitive biases to make us buy something. And all of a sudden in influencer marketing, it feels much more organic. There's somebody that I trust, especially the micro influencers, that often than not, I guess, will also believe in what they're doing. These are perhaps smaller campaigns than the $1 trillion campaigns of the regular glasses that you see on the Ayalon highways. Yeah. And these are people that actually share, organically with little script what they think. And I think that it makes advertising in the marketing world just a little bit better than what it is. And so, and obviously, your personal journey and the journey of Humanz and the growth is phenomenal. And anyone going into your website, immediately you can see the incredible things that you're doing and the traffic that you have there. So it was a lot of fun for me. I'm going to check out this HBO series. And thank you very much, Liav. It was awesome.